Okay, listen, I might have been a little bit outrageous when I talked about Mike Matheson. I knew they were going to re-sign him as well because it just made so much sense, didn't it? Like, he's around from there, he's around there. Obviously loves being there, loves being around the young guys. The Montreal Canadiens are probably going to be one of the better teams in the next 5 years in my opinion. And I just look at this guy and it just makes so much sense for him to re-sign. And it makes a lot of sense for the Bouba et Rouge to re-sign him as well because he's just having a great season as long as they can get him on a good number. Now, I was saying to the Montreal Canadiens that they should really try to squeeze him, and I said around $5 million. Now, I know people might say, roll their eyes and come on, Pixel Plus. That is not going to happen. But, I mean, I was hoping anyway, but they do get him re-signed. But this is opening a door for a lot more moves to the Montreal Canadiens. Boy, oh boy, this is an exciting season. But welcome back to Pixel Plus Hockey. If you could make sure to hit that subscribe button, it would be so greatly appreciated. And thank you so much to those that are already supporting me as well. It is very humbling. Okay, so some people might look at the term of 5 years on his contract. I'm going to put the contract up right here according to Puckpedia, and people might say, it's a little long, which, I mean, they're not completely wrong about that. Apparently, the number of years for Mike Matheson were actually really, really important to him, obviously, because so he has more job security and a place that he really likes to be. But we have $6 million. Now, I want to draw you back to his cap hit before of the 8 of 8 that he signed was $4.875 million. So when we're talking about percentage of the cap, I want to draw you guys to this. Percentage of the cap is pretty much everything. And this, I believe, as the cap goes up more and more, this is like a less percentage of the cap than 4.8. Like, that's actually quite impressive. The point about this is stability. Stability, stability, stability. And also, I think the Montreal Canadiens are just going the right way. Man, this team is so impressive. It's kind of funny to me when you beat the Leafs, your team gets like back on track from a winning streak, but that's just kind of how it is. But we talk about Lane Hudson, Caden Gooley, Noah Dobson, Mike Matheson. Caden Gooley has injury issues and he's kind of up and down. But again, those four core of defensemen are under contract till 2031. What this will offer the Montreal Canadiens is stability in the AAV, so you know what the guy's getting paid, and it'll allow you to make big trades. And that leads us into, well, this is going to help the Canadiens, right? And it's crazy. When we talk about Mike Matheson, it almost surprises me how much the Montreal Canadiens actually play this guy. I mean, I knew he played a lot, but this guy plays like 24, 25 minutes a night. To get this player under $6 million for around a comparable cap percentage is just fantastic news. But here we have a really interesting quote. Quote, Matheson's long-term deal opens the door for Kent Hughes. The Canadiens GM knows he'll be able to count on excellent defensemen for years to come, and he also has the luxury of having others in his bank of prospects who have the potential to play in the National Hockey League one day, close quote, because we still have Reinbacher, who, obviously we're hoping for his health as well. So they kind of already have this situation on their blue line completely solved. I do think that they need more two-way players in their forward group. That's one of the criticisms. Like, I don't want the Montreal Canadiens to take away from their offensive ability, their puck carrying ability, but I do want them to add in a couple of more two-way players, another two-way center, something like that, a second line center. You do need to add more defensive players in the Montreal Canadiens, a little bit more size. Again, I don't want them to become one of the teams that can't skate or anything like that. I want them to actually lean into their strengths, but they do still have some touch-ups to be done. And again, the Montreal Canadiens are armed to the teeth to do something. They have so many prospects that they could play with. Michael Hage, Alexander Zarovsky, Owen Beck has some decent value. I mean, they have 5 first-round picks by 2030, 6 second-round picks by 2030. So when these defensemen are signed, they are just armed to the teeth and have so many players signed to good contracts that this is going to be an unbelievable run. I really do hope for the Montreal Canadiens that they don't start to screw this up, because it's like every single move from this team, like literally every single move, I point to that move and be like, I get it. I totally understand. Elaine Hutton, I get it. Mike Matheson, I get it. Getting Noah Dobson, I get it. And man, can this team skate, and man, can they score. This is unbelievably exciting stuff. And here's another really interesting quote from NHL Rumor Report, and we're going to draw this back to the Montreal Canadiens. Chris Johnson: the Blues could be a team that's really in for a hard reset here in the next few months. A lot of players' names are out there on that team. Chris Johnson, close quote. So we know that Jordan Kyrou was very, very high up on the Montreal Canadiens list. I would definitely put Braden Shen in there as well. I understand that Braden Shen is a bit of an older player, but again, I want them to focus on guys that can play defense, center, things like that. They need to balance out their roster. That's essentially what I'm saying here. They can't just have all these high-flying guys. You need to have decent players. Now, the problem is Braden Shen only has about 9 points in 25 games. Now, I don't think that he's completely fallen off. I just don't think that, St. Louis is all that good. But again, you put him on a high-flying Montreal Canadiens team, he's going to look a lot better. Trust me. So question of the video: what exactly do you think the Montreal Canadiens should do right now? We know they have a lot of their team locked in. This is very, very exciting. I think they're going to make the playoffs. But what exactly should they look for, and what exactly is even available? For example, you have Nazem the Dream Kadri. You have Ryan O'Reilly. You probably have Braden Shen, man. Like, I'm sorry, St. Louis is looking for a reset. You could absolutely pry Braden Shen out of there. Now, of all of those players, if we're talking about a team that is challenging for the playoffs and winning the cup today, not for the future, of course, because Ryan O'Reilly is old, I see Ryan O'Reilly as being the best player of all those players for the Montreal Canadiens. Boy, I just love that player. Now, the problem with him is he isn't a huge fan of Canadian markets. He didn't really like playing for the Leafs. We've already heard that Vancouver called on him, and they were kind of he was not necessarily that interested in Vancouver, so I'm not necessarily sure on how he would like the Canadiens, but and Nashville already said that they're acting as if he already has a no trade clause, which I also find very interesting. But I'm sorry, man, if the Canadiens keep on showing that they are a good team, I'm telling you right now, you can convince almost any player to come to their team. All you need to do is be good. Not only that, but we do know that Kent Hughes is armed to the teeth, and we know that he is not afraid to make a splash on the market. We know that. We've seen it before, but we also know that Kent Hughes is okay with being patient, which is amazing as well. So it's just going to be really, really, really exciting. Like, I don't know. A lot of people say, the Montreal Canadiens aren't going to do anything this season, and they might be right. Like, maybe they won't be great in the playoffs, but I really think you need to start being aggressive. That doesn't mean giving away all your players right now, but it does mean at least starting to be aggressive and looking around and saying, boy, oh boy, do we have a hell of a team right now. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to cover all of this. If you could make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it, guys, and make sure to have a great day. Goodbye, guys.